Hello to myself since I'm the only one here. I've been rushing around trying to set this up on the computer and the photo I wanted didn't upload. And yeah, I have some things I want to talk about. And so I think I'll just go ahead and talk and people can see this on replay. Okay, so my daughter and I, Zelda, my eldest, we decided to go on a trip together. I have been talking about the Burnt Roots Festival in Carson, New Mexico. It was near Taos at the Vista Verde Retreat Center. And it was really exciting because it was the first festival that I've had a workshop at, and I was invited by my friend Debbie from Freebird Spirit, and she is she's amazing. She does psychic readings, she does tarot card readings, she has classes to practice. Hi, she does classes. If you go to freebirdspirit.com, you can read more about Debbie and see about the classes for psychic development, just fine-tuning your intuition, even if you're starting as a beginner, or hi, Sonia, or even if you are, somebody who has been taking classes. It's just, I took her class. It was Debbie and I believe it was Kim. And the classes are really easy to attend. They're also recorded. And the reason I'm telling you this is because when I went to the Burnt Roots Festival and Debbie and I worked together in a workshop for people doing journeys and readings, some phenomenal things happened. And the class that I took right before that with Debbie and Kim really helped me get out of my way with my channeling. And I'm just really grateful to what she does. And so hello, everybody. Thanks for coming on. Surprise, I didn't advertise this, but I had some information that I wanted to get out. I've returned from the Burnt Roots Festival and I learned a lot. First time I've been in a workshop, first time that I've traveled with my daughter Zelda, in a spiritual fun way. We took our camper van that is currently, it's being worked on. We got it's a Ford Transit van, and my husband's been working on it. And so right now he had welded a twin bed up off the floor, and then we put like a little nest area down on the floor for my daughter to sleep in. And so we took that and headed towards the festival in New Mexico, which I had never done anything in New Mexico before or visited, just driven through a couple of times in my previous life as a food vendor. And so something really interesting happened. We're driving along, and not too far outside of Mammoth Lakes is this beautiful place, and I'll probably get the name wrong, but it has the oldest ancient bristle pine cone tree. So I'm driving by it. It's this windy road, and I've driven by it before, and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to go to a festival all about burnt roots, trees, Debbie and I were going to do a seed journey, SEED. And I'm like, well, I have to pull in there. So my daughter's actually sleeping. She slept through the whole thing. It was like an hour on this windy ass road up. I didn't know too much about it, but I got out and I just like hung out with the trees. And one of the rangers were telling me about the different seeds from the pine cones, and that all the females were the ones on the ground. And so I got some great pictures from that. And I feel like I actually picked up some downloads when I was there. And then, and so then I drive back down this windy road. So I've just taken like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half of a side trip. And it felt really good. It felt necessary. And so my daughter wakes up, I tell her she missed this whole thing. And we're walking, not walking, we're driving further, with the destination being getting close to Flagstaff, New Mexico, because it was kind of halfway to Flagstaff, Arizona. It was halfway to go to New Mexico. So we're driving along, and again, hours later into our journey, my daughter falls asleep again, and I see the sign for a meteor crater, which is this huge, huge impact area from a meteor. And I've been there about 20 years ago with my husband. And I'm like, no. I'm like, come on, Spirit, let's not do that. And so they take me there. And so now I'm there, not at the visitor center where you can see the meteor crater, but I was told to pull off on the side of the road and do a little ceremony. So I pull off on the side of the road, found this quiet, secluded area where I could be by myself. My daughter's sleeping. I do the ceremony where I do a symbol in the ground with my water bottle. And before it evaporates, I do the ceremony of releasing something that I'm not sure of, and I get a new dialect with my language. It's higher pitched, sounds old, sounds more Asian, and so I get this new dialect, and I'm like, that's great. So I continue on my way, and then I'm like, okay, now we have to go to Chaco Canyon, and Chaco Canyon is. It's a really interesting place. It's the first time we actually stayed there in a campground. Um, this was the next day. We go to Chaco Canyon on Friday night. The festival starts on Saturday. So we make it before, again, on this dirt road that's super bumpy. My daughter's awake for this one, and there's cows in the road. It was really exciting. We go to these ancient ruins, and I pick up another dialect there, and it was just beautiful. The moon was shining bright. My daughter and I had a really good time. And yeah, we were just laughing and taking pictures. And so the next day, we get there, and the whole process was for me to just trust Spirit and to not maybe second guess things, or maybe not be so serious with the spirit stuff, because these little side trips were really fun, and it wasn't something that was planned, because I get into this like, this is so important, everybody needs to know it, and la 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 la. I just get really, really, really super hyper focused on the spirit stuff, but you're supposed to have fun. And most importantly, you need to trust. And so this whole experience for me was trusting. There was a little bit of weirdness with me and some of the people at the festival before I got there. I did just a quick little comment that was taken out of, it wasn't the way I intended it. Somebody wanted to switch with me, and time-wise, switch from later in the evening to the morning, and I'm not really awake in the morning, and my channeling doesn't work in the morning. And that's the way I put it, was just kind of short, and it was taken like I was being bitchy. And so when I got there, there were some people who, I don't know if they thought I was a diva or just thought I was an inflexible person. And so that was just really weird, because I'm sensitive, and Yeah. So anyways, when I got there, there were some tears because I just really wanted to do what Spirit wanted me to do there and do it in a lovely way. So when all was said and done, I think everything worked out just fine between me and the people that I made mad at me. And I can see why they took it the way they took it. So I'm not like the angel in the story. I could see that, but I just really wanted to just say that sometimes you have to like just trust in Spirit and trust where you're being led down your path, because even though it was really challenging, just even driving in and feeling like maybe I didn't belong there, I just knew that Spirit wanted me to be there. The grandmothers really wanted me to be there, and um, so the whole experience was pretty amazing, and I got to share it with my daughter. My daughter was able to share. Hi, Vivian. Hi, everybody. My daughter was able to share in a really sacred way in this tent. We were in a teepee and we were sitting there and we just did this journey about um, abandonment and how we had been abandoned or felt abandoned in our lives, and how we can like look at that and heal from that. So my daughter shared something that was very heartwarming. She ended up, the emotions came out and she was crying, and that helped some other people also share their stories. So that was really healing for her, healing for the other people in the tent, and it was really brave of her. So yay for my daughter. And while we were there, Debbie and I and this other woman, Tovia, and I believe it was a man named Matt. We opened up a portal in for the grandmothers to come through. So what I really wanted to do is just tell you a little bit about the grandmothers. They there's a group of them. They have a lot of medicine and knowledge to share with us. And the grandmothers came through for this woman Tovia that was there, and she the grandmothers came through for her, and they kept her up all night just chit-chatting and this and that. And some of the other people that had workshops there, the grandmothers came through, and um, so the grandmothers are here. We opened up a portal, they came through. It was really amazing because some Native Americans came to do the closing ceremony, and they did it right at the portal that we opened. And we told them it was for the grandmothers, so that was really sweet. The grandmothers enjoyed that. The grandmothers were like coming out of the ground like ants out of an ant hole, and dancing, drawing symbols, and it's just I'm really excited to be a part of that energy. And uh, I'll share a picture later about this rock. I've had this rock in my life for a long time. And again, it's all about listening to the small little whispers that you hear. And she came to me when I was in Tennessee, and I call her Grandmother Turtle Rock. And she came into my life years ago, and her little nose was poking out, and she was on a tree that was eroding. And I just heard, like, can you pull me out? Because of the erosion, I don't want to be in the river. And so I wiggled it to get it loose from this tree that was eroding. And the roots were exposed, and I just wiggled, and it turned out to be like a really big rock, looked like a snapping turtle, had some like fossils and indentations. And I brought her home, and I put her in I used to have a healing studio, and where I'd have groups of people come or single clients come. And this was in Southern California. And she would always come out, she would only come out for specific people and specific things. Like, I could even burn some, resin on a charcoal tab on her. Like, she would allow that occasionally. So I knew when she wanted to come out that it was gonna be a really special healing for somebody and really important. And, so I ended up eventually taking her with me on a Carissa Schumacher retreat in, Sedona, Arizona. And, Debbie was actually with me, Freebird Spirit. She was with me at that retreat, and I was getting ready to go to Shaman's Cave, and she's like, "I hate to tell you this, but I think you already know that she wants to stay." So I bawled like a baby, just like, I was that woman at the retreat, like, crying, like, nonstop, and people are like, "What's the matter?" And I'm like, "My rock wants to stay." And, it made sense because when I told, Joseph Graywolf, who was one of the helpers there, that, Grandma Turtle wanted to stay. He helped me find a nice secure spot underneath the tree, outside of the cave. And then Carissa Schumacher was, asking people, what was on the altar, and she picked up the key that was to my healing studio. And she says, we're linking Shaman's Cave, this area, and the healing powers to your healing studio. And so she took my key and she like embedded it into the tree. And so I was like, oh, that's why Grandma wanted to be here. So every time I would go back, 3, 4, 5, 6 times I went back, and I would just go there during the retreat. I'd get her from the tree, and I would sit with her, and then I would put her back, each time asking if she was ready to come home. So the last time I went there, I went to visit her, and the tree was gone. And I was like, "Oh, no." And I looked around, and we're on a cliff. Like, Shaman's Cave, you have to, like, walk on this little ledge to get into the cave. And, so I'm, like, looking around, and I saw her, and I was able to grab her safely, and so she wanted to leave the cave because her tree was gone again. And, I know this is a long story, but, so I brought her, to the rest of the places for the retreat, and, we always end up at Joseph Graywolf's house, and that stinker of a rock, she wanted to stay with him. So she has been with him for about, I don't know, more than 2 years, hanging out at his, where the Inipi tent goes and the fire pit goes. And, it's where we usually close ceremony for the retreats. So I went back after opening the grandmother portal and, stopped by Sedona. It's 45 minutes down, stayed in, stayed in the van, and my, friend Adele Sands, she's the one who helped my voice come through, my language. Stayed in her driveway, picked up I went to go see, Grandma Turtle Rock, and, she wanted to come home, but just temporarily, she said. So I don't know where she's gonna end up after this, but she is upstairs right now and hopefully will help me build, like a meditation, has a feel of a medicine wheel, on my property that's right in line with this huge, thing called Mammoth Rock. And I just have to clear the land and, uh and make some sort of grandma turtle shrine, I guess. So hopefully she'll help me with that. So I wanted to do, I guess, just a little prayer. I worked, uh, I worked 2 hours for 4 days, bringing in spirit for the festival, and then we did private sessions during the day for people. And so I'm a little bit, still coming down from spirit and being up all the time. So I thought we could just do like a little prayer for the grandmothers. And I feel like we really do need to have the information come forward, the things we've been disconnected from. Just our ancestors are here to help, not just my ancestors, not just your ancestors, but the ancestors, the grandmas. When I think of them, I see them with baskets, and they each have, like, a different type of medicine in it for us. So, if you just do a little prayer with me, and we'll see where that goes. Um, so that way it'll be a nice, easy night for me. I've shared what, happened over the last week and a half, and I'm happy to be home, and I'm happy to, have the new dialects. Maybe some will come out and, you can hear it. Let's see. For the grandmas. Taking a couple deep breaths in, releasing our day. Taking a couple deep breaths in, releasing. Taking a deep breath in and releasing. Checking in with our bodies. I know I have a lot of tension. It's like my whole body is just like, it's ready for something, but it's also super tired and just a lot of tension in my neck. I don't know if you guys are feeling some tension as well, but just asking our bodies to just deeply relax for this moment, for this prayer. Seeing what you can do to shift, seeing what we can do to release um, any stuff that we might have taken on as sensitive people, caring people, kind people, empaths, maybe some things, emotions that aren't ours to hold on to. Maybe some things that might have triggered us. I know some things have triggered me online. Just putting that stuff down, setting it down for a few minutes. Just acknowledging if we have energy that's just kind of like ready to go. What's the next thing? Maybe some of us are stuck in the in between this, in between that, not knowing what that might be, knowing where we were, but where are we heading? Um, this is kind of where the grandmothers come in with their advice and their knowledge, and so just being really grateful to have the grandmothers come in at this time, sitting with us in our circle, sharing their knowledge with us as we stand shoulder to shoulder. Maybe just acknowledging that things are in the in between right now, for a lot of people, and leaning on spirit and our inner compass, our inner teachers, our inner knowledge, and just knowing that maybe more knowledge could come forward from our ancestors just to help in this time of turbulence, chaos, things that are unknown to us in these times. Patotano kitano kakaiwa kan kunshimeke kan kian kian kunshimakawa. Tina tanoko no kanakina kanoshtita. Opening up our throat spaces to the grandmothers if you feel called to do that. Relaxing our throats. Maybe what we're saying, maybe some of the words can't come out for whatever reason. Maybe when the words do come out, maybe they don't land as well as we think they're going to land or in the intention of how we want them to land. I do know when we get down to like our soul level, our human level even. We really do want people to be okay. And there's just different ways right now for everybody to be okay. Just relaxing our jaw, our throat. What part of your body? It's still really, really raw. What part of your body, guys, would you say if the grandmothers were going to come through? What part of your body would you like have a window to open to them or a door to open to them? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious. I do have a friend um, who actually has these, or the way it started, anyways, which she would have a door in her heart space to open up to her guides. She had some pretty powerful guides, some heavy hitters, if you will. And I'm just curious because there's so many places for information to come through. Could be definitely the head area, the crown chakra area, could be even down by your feet to help you with the paths that you choose. It's just something to really think about with the grandmother energy that is coming in, which will be in some of my channelings and some of my mini readings in the next couple weeks. Just asking the grandmas to even come in now to help with any medicine that we might need for our voices. And behind any great voice, there's our breath. So just being conscious of our breath and how we might hold our breath, or how we might, when we're using our words, just be really conscious of, pay attention to your physical body. Like, are you kind of bracing your stomach? Like you might get energetically punched or verbally punched because of the things that you're saying. So the breath, and if you're practicing, did you know that you can just practice by yourself? Like, let's say if there was something that I wanted to say to somebody and I wasn't sure how to say it, even if that person has passed away, like, you can just practice, but really breathe into it. And do you guys think that, for instance, I see that Marie said that, because of a procedure that she had, maybe an opening was closed to spirit. I'm just curious, like, do you think we can open up to spirit in different ways? Like, I know that, all of those clairs, that you guys probably know that better than me, but, if you just put your hands on your ears and just give yourself permission, if this is something that you want to come in, you can just ask the ancestors, the grandmothers, to help with their knowledge and their medicine to either, hear in or seeing in your mind's eye. It doesn't have to be in the third eye, Marie. I'm just getting that the essence of spirit can come through anywhere. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. I have like a lot of heavy hitters here in my top chat or my chat. What do you guys feel about that? I wonder. Can you open up to spirit in different ways than what you're used to? Or if somebody has a block, it'd be great if you guys could share some things. Or maybe we could all hold Marie in our heart spaces just for a few minutes. Marie is one of our community members, part of our collective. Seeing those stitches on a cellular level. Kato tano ishti tano kano kaya wa tana tano ko tana kina mashti tano e kai kenai wa. Yanana kuishti tano e na makakaya wa ashti tano kana kaya wa. Yena huishti tano e tano kai ni tana kai ina ishti ma o kai o ishti no kai kona kai kona mashti tai wa. Yena tano kaya wa. Yena tano ishti ta. Hey, Rochelle. You are right on time. We were just checking in Marie, holding her in our heart space. Yeah. Yeah, and we're talking about if people have blocks. Like, for instance, Marie had some stitches 5 months ago in her head, and she's just really hoping to hear from her son, who must be in spirit. And, she's just wanting to know, wanting to hear from him. So I was holding space. We were holding space for her to see if any other openings, if maybe some part of this was, if that is what happened, and her third eye might be blocked from that. How can you open up other places, other doors to hear the ancestors? Your inner teacher must be in, right? It must be in there somewhere. And then Pammy says, I am communicating with my guides through feathers. I keep finding feathers and collecting them. Debbie says, I feel like I have a block or not doing it right. I've definitely felt like that before, Debbie. And usually when I feel like I'm blocked or I can't hear spirit, it's because, and some of my friends too, it's because something's coming, like a new thing is coming. And usually when I feel like forsaken, that's really when it's coming in soon. I'm not sure if you guys have had that experience as well. And Maria, I think it's like a really good practice to be a beginner. I'm still learning things. I'm still getting got 2 different dialects on the trips I just took in the past week and a half. And where I was before, it's almost like those were just the they're not even baby steps. It's just that's how it was then, and now it's just a little bit different. One thing that I always have is my yes and no eye. That's always been consistent, but things have changed, and I think it's kind of good to think of yourself as a beginner, always learning. Pammy, I do. Pammy says she keeps hearing we need a healing balm to spread over the scars. One of the things that we did at the Burnt Roots Festival was to ask the grandmothers and our ancestors for the healing balm to put on. So this is what you do. When you're, we can do it right now. We could just try. Put your hands up to spirit, or wherever it is you feel called. Maybe some people are more attuned right now to earth medicine. So maybe you would put your hands on the ground. Some people might be more into the wind medicine. Right now, I'm just putting my hands up because that feels right for me, to the ancestors, up to the sky people, to just give the healing balm for the from the scars. Let's just say from the beginning of our time to right now. It's a nice big window of time. Just ask them to place the medicine in your hands. And when you feel like, if you have something in your hands, or you feel the light, or you feel the tingles, just put it on. You know what? I was going to say put it on places where you think you might need it. I'm going to apply the healing salve everywhere because that feels good. Even on my toes. And you can do this at any time, maybe even right before you go to bed. Just put your hands up and say, Spirit, ancestors, Creator, friends, Tano Tano Kaiwa, please give me the medicine. Tano Tano Kaiwa. And I'm thinking that you could even use this for, let's say, if I was using it on my daughter who she just had some toenail surgery, doing that, getting the energetic medicine and then placing it on her toes if she was open to that. It's just something that you can play around with and have fun with it. Go up to a tree, see if the tree will give you medicine. I know sometimes when I am really in my head, or definitely in that in between where maybe spirit's not talking and or I'm not receiving or whatever is happening, I just put my forehead on the tree or my back on the tree, however it is I feel comfortable, my bare feet on the roots of the tree. And I just ask, can you please take, whatever doesn't serve me anymore or, wasn't mine to begin with, something I took on that wasn't mine to take. And the tree happily takes it. And I feel so much more relaxed after that. So those are just a few. Oh. Well, Marie, I know you'll just keep trying. And it was fun. I didn't see that Karen went live, but I saw last night that she had gone live. Karen Elizabeth Sage Healers. I'm really looking forward to her coming on more. I watched a little bit of it today, the replay, or was it last night? Last night. It's so nice to see her. She looks so different, doesn't she? Did anybody else notice that? So it's really good to see you guys, and thank you for listening to my story of my travels. And I am going to be doing some more spirit work. My sister is coming in next Friday. So, yeah, Ron, she does look different, doesn't she? She looks like it's her, but just a different version of her. I think life is suiting her where she is. She seems happy. Yeah, Vivian, I missed her live as well. I mean, I didn't have the internet at that time, but yeah, it was last like 5 days ago or something, a week ago. So I'm looking forward to that, and I know I think it's actually in October. Debbie from Freebird Spirit, if you go to her website, it's freebirdspirit.com. She has some classes coming up. And so you might want to, if you're looking for help with your intuition, help with psychic stuff. Her classes are super easy, yet they dive deep. I know I got a lot from it. I know Ron was in one of the classes. Who else? Kathy was in my class, but I know that there's a lot of people in the community who have taken the classes, and they're really amazing. And yeah, so if you feel like you need to step out of your own way, that's what happened to me. I felt like I needed to take a class so I could step out of my own way with my path, with my processing or whatever. And that really led me into some really great things. And so I recommend that. More spirit stuff will be coming up for me. I'm going to be doing some work with the grandmas in some of our journeys. So yeah, thank you, Pammy. Oh, Ron, you're still doing the practices. Good. Yeah, okay, so here's one of the things. Hi, MK Karen. Here's one of the things. When you take Debbie's classes, she has a private Facebook page for that. And even if you're not on Facebook, that's fine too, because there's emails that go out. But this is how it was when I took the class. I think it's the same for Ron's class too, where you have these classes with these groups of people, and then you go into this breakout room, and then you practice things that you think you're not going to be any good at. Sometimes you'll get stuff, sometimes you won't get anything, and that's fine. That happened with me. But then I found like I was pretty good at some stuff that I had never tried before. And so like a week will go in between classes, and they tell you it's really good if you practice that exercise 3 times with people from the group. And so on Facebook or through email, you get this whole spiritual community. You get your team, you get your like people. I know it's online, but you get these people who are alive in the physical, even if it's through electronics and whatnot. You get your people, and you get to practice. So she does have something new is coming up. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, if you're feeling like you might be in between, or maybe you have a little time on your hands right now and want to explore, definitely do that. So yeah, that's what's going on in the world, the spirit world. And I'm holding you all in my heart space because I came back and I was like, yeah, I have the internet. And then I just like, what is happening in the world? And yeah, it's so nice to take a break from that. Holy cow. The things we've gone through, people. We're making history. Yeah. So I hope you're all doing well, and holding you in my heart space, whether you're doing well or not. Good. A healing balm for you. It was a healing balm for me too. I'm like, I can't let Sunday go by without hopping on. And then I freaked out. My daughter is my technical person, and I'm like, why won't this thumbnail fit? Ah! And then I'm like, you know what? I don't need a thumbnail. Forget it. I'm just gonna go live. She tried so hard to help me. And then she's like, well, could you make dinner afterwards? And I'm like, ah! Electronics, yeah! Go have toast. But yeah, so I was freaking out. I feel much better now, though. So let's see. Marie said that she put the healing balm on her left eye. Yeah, I'm going to ask. Maybe I'll take a bath later. I'm just going to ask the ancestors to like infuse the water. Healing, release. I just have a lot of tension from driving. It's like a 2-day drive. Like, I think one day was like 7 hours, the other day was like 10 hours, and I did all those side trips. Do I know anything about paradigm shifts? Hmm. Not that necessarily, unless I know it as something else. What do you know about it, Debbie? Or does anybody else know about that? I do know, timelines for me have shifted. I don't know if that's the same thing as a paradigm shifts, but the timelines have shifted. Like for instance, a couple examples would be um, a couple examples of that would be I feel like some days go by really slow, and then I feel like a week will go by just like that. So it's like time is a little messed up. I do feel like some days I feel like I am walking through like this like heavy fluid. Like there's just some days where I'm like, whoa, and other days not so much. So I'm not sure how that compares to what you're talking about, Debbie. But I would, I'd love to learn more about that. Maybe I'll Google it. Good. So you guys can practice that healing balm. And thank you for suggesting it. So Debbie says it defines a fundamental change in how you see the world. Oh my God. I see things so differently now. I'm just like, why did I not see that before? So I feel like we're in a huge shift. Sometimes I'm like, wait, am I like in like 6D right now? I'm like, some of the stuff seems so ridiculous. And my eyes are wide open to it. I'm like, wait, was all of this stuff happening before and I just wasn't tuned into it? I was like, so yeah, a fundamental change in how you see the world. I have a feeling the virus helped us with that by having us step out of our regular pattern like that. All of a sudden we're at home. All of a sudden my kids are home. All of a sudden we're learning new ways. And yeah. Yeah. We are in that kind of shift. And yeah, I guess that happens when you take the whole collective and change their patterns. Huge. I'm like surprised the earth hasn't stopped spinning. Not that I'm suggesting that, but yeah, craziness. But we have each other, right? Yep. MK Karen, there were so many gifts with the pandemic. Uh huh. Yep. I agree. She says, the only reason I asked is a reader was reading on me and said something about me going through it. I've been feeling different things, but not sure. Yeah, and Pammy, it's scary to tell others what you're hearing. It is a step of faith, and just practice with people who are open to it. I mean, that's exactly why, like Debbie's program that she does, like the workshop she does, really helps because you get to practice with people who are also practicing, and that's called your spiritual community. And I had that already in place before my language came out. So you can do like things you would think that like, hey, this sounds weird, but I have a yes and no I. And it's like somebody else is like, well, that's okay because I do this and blah, 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 blah. Like you can as I forget who says this in the community, you can fly your freak flag in a comforting way, in a safe environment. Yeah. So Debbie, I would say You had a reader that said you're going through it, and oh, I got a big yes eye on that. So, Ron, everybody can tell you their secrets because you are the unconditional love guy. Seriously, you have like this, not to sound weird or anything, but you like this opening that only somebody who has, had one of those death experiences. It's like you have this angel portal of unconditional love. Yeah. Yeah. It's so nice to have. I think most of you are a part of it, but the way showers, which is spelled weird because of me on Facebook. So if you're having a bad day, you can say, can somebody send me some healing energy? Or can you guys hold so and so, in your heart space? Or if you have like an epiphany or something, or hey, I had this dream, you can share there on the way showers, which again is not spelled like how you think, because somebody said it was like way showers. So I'm like, put a Z in there somewhere. Oh, oh, please spell it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Way showers. Okay, I think it's like this. Ron knows. Is that it, guys? I don't know, Libby. If I click out of this, I don't know if I'll get back. Yeah. Yeah. Marie, you're there, right? Just spell it like the wrong way. You'll find us. Okay. But we try to keep it a nice, safe community. Sometimes it's a little challenging because the readers also do political stuff. So when you open up that healing space for the political stuff, when you're doing your live streams, and yet you have this place for the way showers, we try to keep the way showers non-political. Even though that's like a great opportunity to open up healings and be triggered and stuff. But we don't do political stuff there, because we want it to be a safe place where people don't get, they can go get triggered other places. We try to keep that a nice, safe environment where you can share, you can ask for help, and you can just have your community. Yeah, no politics. Yeah. And I don't do politics on my live streams either. We have enough of that in our faces, other places. So, but I do know what it's like to be with people who have the same beliefs as you, and there is comfort in that. So, if I were to say, like, my live streams or the way showers is this great place where you can be with people who are, just really trying to like reach out, have a community, and just honor that we do have differences. And I'm not the same as Ron. Ron's not the same as me, yet we can still be in a community in a kind way. Yeah, I agree, Pammy. Phyllis, no, you don't have to be psychic, to be a part of that. It's like a lot of the stuff that I do here, we do as a community. We might post like some pictures that might make you smile, or it's just a really nice place if you're okay with the Facebook stuff. Just a private group, not open to just anybody. You have to be, I think you have to be admitted to it by one of the admins. Just you just have to acknowledge that there are a few rules where you don't, just to foster a kind community that really likes spirit stuff and intuition. Yeah. Yeah, Ronald, that's why I like going to your Unconditional Love live streams because there's a lot of laughing. A lot of laughing, a lot of crying, a lot of healing, and the messages that come through with Ron and whoever is sharing that space with him. Man, just it's like having $100 in your pocket. It makes you feel I don't know, just makes me really happy when I'm on Ron's channel and seeing people getting readings and from loved ones or yeah, it's pretty special. A lot of laughing. So yeah, if I think most of you already go to Ron's live stream, but he's right there, Unconditional Love Tarot. You can also check out Karen Elizabeth Sage Healers. She doesn't do political stuff either. So yeah, it's nice when you can be vulnerable. You can be vulnerable with Ron. I have been, and I'm like, do I want to hear from my dad or is it too soon? And I knew that he was the right guy. He was the first one that I asked for, any messages from my dad. And not only him, but the community that shows up on his chat, his live chat. They really hold you up when you need to be held up, or they laugh with you. And it's really beautiful. Wow, you have 700 subscribers. Yay, good for you. Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna go make some dinner for my fam. And it was I'm not sure, Rochelle, what you're saying. Is that it? Were you talking about the way showers? Yeah, have a good night. Marie, good luck with the communication with your son. Let us know how that goes. Yay. Well, so good to see you guys. Thanks for being in the community. Thanks for being in the collective. And hoping you'll see if you hit the notifications, then you'll know when I'm coming on. And that you guys must have notifications because I didn't tell anybody I was coming on today, and you all showed up. So thank you for being open to this, and have a great week. And if you don't have a great week, that's okay. You can always ask your community to hold you up. And my email is tutaspeaks@gmail.com. And you can always email me and say, hey, if you're doing any Reiki, put me on the list. I would love to do that. So it's okay if you came in late, Marvita. We still love you. There wasn't really too much of a journey. It was just a conversation, but we did get some medicine from our ancestors. So if you want to go back and listen, you're more than welcome to. So have a great week, everybody. And again, just holding the community and the collective in my heart space. And rest when you can rest. Be kind when you can be kind. And if you need to scream into a pillow, scream into a pillow. Good night, everybody.